Yeah, all good. All good. Good morning. Just been for a nice walk. Just done a few laps. A nice few mile walk, and it's a beautiful day here. Beautiful spring morning. Feels more like summer than spring. It's a beautiful day, and I was doing a little bit of reflecting on how fantastic it is of an occasion when you get a youth team player get their first team debut and they score a goal. You get a youth team academy player who's given the opportunity to play in the first team and they get a goal. And reflecting on that reminded me of when Nicky Adams, this was when I was working at Barry as the conditioning fitness performance coach. And basically, Chris had got the managerial role. Barry had a poor start, and Chris took the role as the caretaker manager and eventually got the role as manager. And I'd worked with Chris in the youth setup, and Chris brought me into the first team setup to work alongside him. And during the week before we played Darlington, who, by the way, Darlington had a decent team that brought some really good players in. We knew it was going to be a tough game, and obviously it was a big game for us. And Chris would always back youth. And Chris said to me during the week, he goes, he's going to start Nicky Adams. And I thought, well, that's amazing, because obviously he's hugely talented. He'll go out there with no fear and play. And it was incredible. Like, Nicky does his debut, he scores in that sort of 35th minute, turns out to be the winning game. To nurture Nicky along, Chris sort of, subbed him later on in the game, sort of nurturing, bringing him through. And it was incredible because the crowd all sort of stood up and clapped. If you're in the crowd that day at home, at Gig Lane, and you watched the game, feel free to comment. It was incredible. The crowd all stood up for Nicky. He come off. It was a winning goal. Phenomenal, really. And it was an absolute buzz. And I think it's really important for me for players. And I'm not here to give any advice or give any tips or make any suggestions, but I think for me it's really important if you get that debut, youth team player, you get the debut type thing. It's really, really important that when you get the debut, the opportunity, that what you do, you sort of, on the field, you sort of use the energy of the crowd. Use that energy of the crowd. It's really important to sort of use the energy of the crowd and sort of channel it so you really, really focus. Also, keep in mind, if the manager's sort of chosen to play, then obviously the manager believes in you. The manager backs and believes in you. So does the coaching staff. It's a good chance the manager will have spoken to the coaching staff as well. So obviously, sort of see it as a sign that the manager believes in you. Go out there, and I think it's really important in those situations to start on the front foot, get involved early, keep it simple, make some passes, do your runs, and obviously stay within the tactics, that's for sure. But obviously sort of get involved as early as you can. And to be fair to Nicky, that's what he did. I mean, absolutely, he got on there. He was on the front foot early, that's for sure. Definitely. And ironically, Chris, I'm pretty sure, told Nicky on the day of the game he was starting. Ironically, he told him on the day of the game. And that also suggests that if you're a player, make sure you're ready, because you don't know when you're going to get your opportunity to play. And Nicky was a fantastic trainer. He trained really well, without a shadow of a doubt, in training, always give 110%. And that's why it's really important for me, obviously sort of to train, to get the best out of yourself, that's for sure, but also be ready, because you don't know when you might get the opportunity as well. And I think the psychology behind that, I can't speak for Chris in terms of why he made the decision to sort of tell him on the day, but I think there's a powerful psychology behind that too, because if you tell the player early, they might start running it through your head and thinking and permutations, that sort of stuff, really. So the build up to the game was a huge game as well, by the way. Probably the player's going to come in more relaxed, and obviously every player is going to get managed differently. That's for sure. But I thought I'd share that one. I mean, great to hear what your thoughts. If you're at that game, feel free to comment. If you sort of can think of similar situations, it was good to sort of hear what you got to say. But yeah, that's my take on it. I think that's what makes football, special. Absolutely. To see a player, come through the academy, scholar, YT, used to be called the YTS system, and get their debut and score, that's just an incredible moment. And Nicky obviously would go on to have a fantastic career in the game. So yeah, absolutely. Always good to hear your thoughts.